Straight ahead on 12 News, piled high in Plymouth, the snow predicament that's made intersections difficult to navigate. Plus, big construction plans, how a Golden Valley company hopes to make its presence known long term. But first, more changes at the former Brookdale Mall site. 12 News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
And I'm Alexandra Renslow. While the area has made progress, today we learned Shingle Creek Crossing is losing a retailer.
Kohl's department store is moving out of Brooklyn Center, and as Delane Cleveland reports, it's already found a new home.
Since 1988, Kohl's has been positioned along Bass Lake Road in Brooklyn Center.
I've been shopping here for over 20 years, and they've always done a good business from what I could see. You know, especially at Christmas time.
Longtime customers rave about Kohl's selection.
I've come here many times for shoes, clothes, jewelry, whatever.
And the overall value of the merchandise.
The discounts and the percentage off stuff they send you in the mail, and I save a lot of money by shopping here.
But in a few short weeks, the days of saving money at the Brooklyn Center location will be over.
I walked in to make a payment. Oh, we're closing March 1st. I says, oh no, you ruined my day.
Now, Brooklyn Center's loss will be Plymouth's gain.
I looked on my phone and it's not open yet. So I was like, darn it.
Kohl's is moving to a brand new location in Plymouth off of Rockford Road that's slated to open March 2nd, replacing an old Rainbow Foods.
I guess that's great for Plymouth.
People who shop in this area say they welcome the store.
I don't tend to go there a lot, but when I get coupons in the mail, I'll stop in for sure.
Back in Brooklyn Center,
We win one and we lose one.
shoppers lament the setback dealt to an area trying to rebuild its retail core.
Like Brookdale Ford that's going across the street, and across further it's almost empty up by Pep Boys, and now we have another empty store.
Which leaves some residents hoping that the retail being developed at the former Brookdale Mall can fill that void.
It's coming along, but, Rome wasn't built in a day, so.
A representative from Kohl says that all of the employees at the Brooklyn Center store have been offered positions at the Plymouth location or other stores in the area. Meantime, as for what could possibly replace Kohl's, Brooklyn Center officials say they haven't discussed it yet. Instead, their focus is on finding retail for the former Brookdale food court. Mike?
All right, thank you very much. A major Golden Valley employer has plans for a new large building that it says will help it become more efficient. The Tennant company plans to build a 45,000 square foot office building that would be the centerpiece of its Golden Valley campus. The idea is to put its headquarters under one roof. Right now, headquarters operations are scattered among several buildings in Golden Valley. For the project to happen, Tennant would need the city to change the height limitations to as much as 4 stories tall. Tennant says the project should reinforce its presence in Golden Valley for the long term. And city council members will take a look at the plans this week.
The cause of a weekend fire in Brooklyn Park remains under investigation. The fire broke out early Sunday morning at a home in the 6300 block of Zyland Avenue North. 2 people were taken to the hospital for smoke inhalation. 2 dogs also died in the fire. It took firefighters about 3 hours to put out all the hot spots. Officials say the fire appears to have started in one of the bedrooms. The home was heavily damaged and is no longer livable.
A college student shot and killed in his apartment near the Michigan State University campus over the weekend was a former Maple Grove High School student. Dominique Nolf played basketball and football for Maple Grove before finishing high school in Michigan. He's seen here scoring a touchdown for the Crimson back in 2010. Nolf was studying hospitality business at Michigan State, and Michigan authorities say Nolf died Saturday of multiple gunshot wounds. He was 20 years old. His roommate was also shot, but not seriously hurt. Authorities are still looking for the shooter.
A Maple Grove police officer escaped serious injury when his squad car collided with a light rail train in downtown Minneapolis. It happened early Saturday morning as Officer Jesse Mathwig was on his way back from the Hennepin County Juvenile Jail. The patrol car sustained heavy damage. There was minor damage to the train. Nobody on the train was hurt. Mathwig is one of the officers credited with pulling a driver from a burning car Thursday morning on Highway 169 in Maple Grove. The Maple Grove City Council, meantime, is expected to take action against a massage parlor accused of engaging in prostitution. Maple Grove police accuse Hawaii Spa of accepting cash to perform sexual acts. Hawaii Spa is also accused of operating outside lawful business hours. The City Council will decide whether to revoke the massage parlor's license. The Twin Cities Metro has had a lot of snow this winter, and it's not melting away anytime soon.
And 12 News reporter Sonia Goen shows us what the city of Plymouth is doing to deal with the huge piles of snow lining the streets.
We've had more than 39 inches of snow so far this year, and you can bet we're going to get more. Extreme cold temps have prevented the snow from melting. Now all the huge piles of plowed snow are creating problems.
We want to clean the snow off of the boulevard area so it has room for more snow.
Plymouth plow drivers are running out of places to push the snow when they clear the roads. The stacks of snow are so big, they create what's known as wind rows.
A row of snow that's come off the plow, and it kind of forms into a just specific row. It builds up around mailboxes and stuff too, and residents will have to shovel more snow around their mailboxes and we get more complaints that way from the mailmen.
Today, 3 crews spent the day pushing back the snow.
The procedure we're doing is shelving or winging back. Basically, it wings and shelves it back to a different level. It'll go back about 4 feet.
Now, the snow mounds are also dangerous for drivers. The huge amounts of snow make it difficult for drivers to see what's coming or going.
It's a big problem for visibility.
Plymouth officials say they will continue to work throughout the week to make sure the roads and intersections are safe. In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
And Plymouth officials say if the weather holds up, they will also remove snow the following week, and they want to make room for any more snow headed our way. There's no question technology connects the world, even on a frozen lake in Plymouth.
Soldiers serving in Afghanistan connected with their families via Skype over the weekend during an ice fishing tournament called Holes for Heroes. For 5-year-old Derek Kirby, it was a big surprise. His dad, Gary, deployed for Afghanistan last July.
So I think it's really good that they do this kind of stuff, and anytime he can see his dad, it always makes his day. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
For most of the families, they don't get to Skype with their loved ones a lot, so this is a special event that brings them closer together. We had a couple families last year that hadn't seen their loved ones at all until we got to this event.
The nonprofit organization Fishing for Life made the arrangement possible. As for the Kirby family, they hope to have Gary home safe and sound in June. Coming up, the franchise that hopes to take a bite out of the local sandwich scene.
That's coming up next in Business Matters. And then later in sports, Maple Grove's boys swimming and diving team are taking home another conference championship.
But first, more character-building weather in your AccuWeather forecast. Wednesday and Thursday are especially frigid.
How often do you hear this? A store closes only to reopen in the exact same spot 5 years later. That's the case with Cost Plus World Market in Maple Grove. 12 News has confirmed that the retailer will reopen in June at its old location next to Whole Foods. Cost Plus World Market was acquired by Bed Bath & Beyond in 2012. It specializes in imported food, wine, and home decor. One of the most recent additions to the Shingle Creek Crossing development in Brooklyn Center is a familiar restaurant chain that's making a comeback.
That's right. After a bankruptcy, Schlotzsky's all but left Minnesota about 10 years ago. But now a family is bringing back the brand with a few new twists.
On the original, it also gets olives on the bottom.
Lauren Elder is making a Schlotzsky's original.
Because it's a medium, it has 2 slices of ham, and then we have 4 slices of genoa.
The toasted deli-style sandwich is what started the brand in Austin, Texas in 1971.
So now we're going to add lettuce.
More than 40 years later, the Schlotzsky's chain is making a comeback in Minnesota with the opening of this Brooklyn Center shop.
There's so many people that have been coming in and just thanking us for coming back to the community. There have been Schlotzsky's here before and they were missing it. So we've been steadily busy and we keep getting busier every day.
Shop owner Kristen Bergley and her family plan to open 5 more locations in the Metro in the near future.
All the ingredients you see here is fresh. We cut everything every single day.
All with the recently re-imaged brand and menu.
We have our original menu items, so all your old favorites are going to be here. We've just added to that.
So always put the bread in first.
Known for its fresh made from scratch bread, sandwiches still fill the menu board, but they've also added fresh salads, soups, and pizzas, as well as a few sweets.
We're happy to offer both the classic roll size, the mini bon as well.
After a bankruptcy, Schlotzsky's was bought by Atlanta-based Focus Brands, which also owns Cinnabon and Carvel ice cream. And both treats are now available at this shop.
Thank you.
It's a rebirth of a restaurant chain, and Brooklyn Center's Shingle Creek Crossing provided the perfect fit.
We like the idea of a renewed energy, kind of a revitalization of the area. We really wanted to be part of that.
The local owners say you could see another Schlotzsky's in the Northwest Metro before long. And the only other Schlotzsky's location in Minnesota is in Edina. Coming up, the local high school mascot that's getting statewide attention.
But first in sports, the Cooper boys basketball team looks to score a big road win. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John Jacobson with sports now. And it never fails. No matter how good you think you are in anything, somebody else is going to come along.
Better. Yeah, that certainly happened for Maranatha. They've got a good team, had some good teams for several years now, ran into a better team Saturday afternoon. Maranatha Christian Academy girls basketball team sure doesn't duck tough competition. The Mustangs, who won state Class A titles in 2011 and 2012, are rated number 6 this season. They played host to the number 1 team in Class A rankings, Minneota, on Saturday afternoon. Highlights from this one, Peyton Boerboom taking the pass, driving and scoring for a 10-5 Vikings lead. Michaela Payne from the wing drives into the paint, gets her shot to drop for the Mustangs. They trail by 9. Emily Steinesen hits the long 2-pointer for the Vikings. She scores 25 points. Minneota leads by 16 at the half. Second half, and Elena Jarnot knocks down the pull-up 3-pointer for MCA. Molly Hennon then counters, lobbing a pass in to Steinesen, who banks in 2 more points, and the lead is 19. Payne runs the floor well for Maranatha. She scores in this drive, and the Mustangs pull back to within 11. They would get as close as 5, but it's not enough against this talented Minneota team. Taylor Reese scores 30 points for the Vikings. They remain unbeaten with an 89-63 win at Maranatha. In boys basketball, Columbia Heights hosted Cooper in a North Suburban Conference game. Early second half, the Highlanders' Colton Williams hitting the jumper. That ties the game at 36. He led all scorers with 20 points. Cooper goes back in front here. Adrian Jackson hitting the runner off the glass. He scores 15 points on the night. Good movement with the ball by the Hawks here. It ends up in the hands of Brandon Robinson, who knocks down a 3. He leads Cooper, scoring 18 on the night. But after that game tied the game up, the Highlanders will go ahead to stay here. They miss on the steal attempt, Cooper does, and it's Williams alone underneath for 2. Later, Jarrett Baptiste hits a 3 from the corner. He scored 18 points for Columbia Heights, and they pull away and beat Cooper 78-64. Section play gets started this week in girls hockey. Many of the teams we cover here on Channel 12 will skate in the very tough Section 6AA tournament. Hopkins is the top seed in 6AA. Benilde St. Margaret's is second. Minnetonka has won the state title the past 3 seasons, and they're just the 3rd seed this year. Wayzata is 4th, Maple Grove 5th, Armstrong Cooper 6th, and North Metro 7th. Hopkins has a bye in the quarterfinals. North Metro takes on Benilde Saturday at noon, followed by Armstrong Cooper versus Minnetonka at 2:15. Maple Grove meets Wayzata at 4:30. All games at Parade Ice Garden in Minneapolis. The semifinals are at Parade next Wednesday, February 12th, and the finals at Ritter Arena Friday the 14th. Champlin Park finds out Monday night where they'll be seated in Section 5AA. Champlin Park's boys hockey team didn't fare so well in January, going 1-6 for the month. They look to get a fresh start as the calendar turned to February, Saturday against Coon Rapids. The Cardinals' Seth Johnson, nice pass here to Garrett Day for the shot and goal for the Cardinals. That ties the game at 1 in the first period. Second period, Champlin Park's Michael Burrell shot tipped in by Luke Dahlman. The Rebels are in front 2-1. Later in the period, Anthony Donato scores on the rebound off Derek Smith's shot. Champlin Park is up 3-1 after 2. Third period, Smith with a nice takeaway in the Coon Rapids zone, and they'll feed Donato in front for the goal. Champlin Park beats Coon Rapids 4-2. In boys swimming and diving, Maple Grove looked to continue a pretty remarkable string. The Crimson were hosting Anoka in the Northwest Suburban Conference dual meet. First race of the night, 200 medley relay. Dan Ebert anchors the Crimson to victory. He almost wins the 200 IM as well, but loses by 18/100ths of a second to Anoka's Matt Hedman. Maple Grove leads by 3 points after the diving, but Anoka wins 3 races in a row. Cole Birkeland dominates in the 100 freestyle, the winning time of 49.53. Hedman wins the 500 free, comes right back to anchor the Tornadoes to a victory in the 200 freestyle relay to make it a 1-point Crimson lead. But Maple Grove wins the next 2 races. Aaron Dabson first in the 100 backstroke, and then Brenner Hohenstein wins the 100 breaststroke. Maple Grove wins the meet 97-88, taking the Northwest Suburban Conference title. It's their 18th consecutive conference championship season. That's all long the school's been open. They've won the conference title every single year in boys swimming.
Wow, not bad.
Pretty good.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, something many of us would never dare try.
Plus the list that's already stirring debate over who should be number 1, the coolest high school mascots, coming up. And there they go. Talk about embracing winter. Nearly 900 polar bear plungers jumped into Fish Lake over the weekend for a good cause. They raised $190,000 for Special Olympics. It was sunny and a little warmer on Saturday than it had been, with temperatures in the 20s. But even veteran plungers tell us hitting the water is still enough to take your breath away. Special Olympics moves the plunge to Crooked Lake in Coon Rapids next weekend. Well, finally, one of the coolest mascot names happens to reside in the northwest suburbs.
It is especially cool if you enjoy Greek mythology. According to the website newscastic.com, the Centaurs of Brooklyn Center is the 3rd best high school nickname in the state. Others to make the list, the Minneapolis Roosevelt Teddies and the Blooming Prairie Awesome Blossoms. Number 1 on the list, the Moorhead Spuds.
Spuds.
I like the
Pretty
Centaurs.
good.
That's pretty unique.
is
We
unique.
were Spartans growing up. What about you?
I was
He was a
Robin.
Robin.
Oh, Robin, of
Yeah.
course. I
Yeah.
knew that. What about you, Mike?
Well, I was a Panther for a while, Spring Lake Park, and then a Sheik.
A Sheik. That's got to be the
pretty unique.
California school,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. California thing for sure.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you back here again tomorrow. Community Corner is coming up next.